A single-dad mechanic was returning home. He noticed an unconscious female cop lying on the roadside. The road was almost empty when he saw her body lying still on the cold asphalt, a police uniform stained with dust and blood, the patrol car door hanging open like a silent cry for help. And in that instant, a single-dad mechanic's tired life collided with a moment that would change everything forever. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of doing the right thing even when no one is watching, please take a moment to like this video, comment, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel Soul Tale. Your support keeps stories like this alive. He had been driving for nearly an hour after a long day at the garage, hands still smelling of oil and metal, back aching from bending over engines that never seemed to rest. Being a single father had turned his life into a routine of survival rather than dreams. Every day was a calculation of fuel costs, school fees, groceries, and the silent worry of what would happen if something went wrong. His old pickup truck rattled as it moved along the rural highway, the evening sky heavy with clouds, when something unnatural caught his eye. A shape on the roadside, a red patrol vehicle parked awkwardly, and then her. He stopped without thinking. Fear and instinct wrestled inside his chest as he stepped out, boots crunching against gravel. The woman lay unconscious, her breathing shallow, her face pale beneath the badge that marked her as a police officer. There was no one else around. No sirens. No help. Just him, a man who had learned to mind his own business because life had punished him every time he tried to be a hero. Yet as he knelt beside her, carefully lifting her head to check if she was alive, he felt the familiar weight of responsibility press down on him. The same weight he felt every night when he tucked his daughter into bed and promised her silently that he would always come back home. The challenges hit him immediately. Calling emergency services meant waiting, explaining, risking suspicion. Helping a cop could bring trouble. His record was clean, but his past was not glamorous. He had once been wrongly accused after stopping to help someone years ago, and that memory still burned. His phone battery was low. His truck barely ran. And at home, his young daughter waited, probably peeking through the curtains, wondering why he was late again. But walking away was not an option. Not when a human life lay in front of him, helpless and alone. He stabilized her as best as he could, using his jacket to support her head, shielding her from the cooling air. Time stretched painfully. Every second felt louder than the last, filled with the sound of his own heartbeat and the distant hum of the wind. When help finally arrived, flashing lights breaking through the dim road, relief washed over him so strongly that his legs trembled. He stepped back quietly, ready to disappear into the shadows, because men like him were used to being invisible. But fate was not done with him. Days passed and life returned to its harsh rhythm. The garage needed him. Bills did not care about heroism. His daughter needed dinner, homework help, and reassurance. He told no one about what happened. He did not expect anything. Kindness to him had always been a one-way street. Yet one afternoon, as he was struggling with a stubborn engine, a familiar patrol car pulled into the lot. His heart sank. Old fears rose. He wiped his hands slowly, bracing for trouble. The female officer stepped out, walking carefully, a faint scar visible now, but her eyes steady and full of something he had not expected. Gratitude. She had survived because someone stopped, because someone cared enough to stay. She had asked around until she found him. What followed was not praise or reward, but acknowledgement, a recognition that in a world that often looked away, he had leaned in. Their connection did not turn magical overnight. It grew slowly, through small moments. She visited the garage for routine checks, stayed a few minutes longer each time, asked about his daughter, listened without judgment. He learned about her life too, the loneliness of wearing a badge, the pressure of responsibility, the fear she carried every time she stepped onto the road. Both of them knew what it meant to carry weight silently. The biggest challenge he faced was not poverty or exhaustion, but belief. Belief that his life could be more than just survival. Belief that he was worthy of respect, of happiness, of being seen. His daughter noticed the change first. The way he smiled more. The way hope slowly returned to his eyes. The way evenings felt warmer, lighter. When trouble came again, as it always does, it came hard. A financial setback threatened the garage. Rumors spread. Stress returned. Old habits of shutting down crept back in. But this time he was not alone. Support came from unexpected places. The officer stood by him, not as someone he had saved, but as someone who believed in him. The community, inspired by his quiet act of kindness, responded in ways he never imagined. The story did not end with riches or miracles. It ended with something far more powerful: stability, respect, a future that felt possible, a child who grew up watching her father choose compassion over fear, a man who learned that sometimes stopping on the roadside is not just about saving another life, but about saving your own. As this story reaches its final moments, if it touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness still matters in a broken world, please take a second to like this video, share it, and stay connected with Soul Tale. Your engagement helps these stories reach others who need hope. And before the ending fades, we have a special request for you. Please comment below and tell us, would you have stopped that night on the empty road? Because sometimes, one choice made by an ordinary person can change more lives than they ever imagined.